Hey everyone, this is Kieran from MSK Physio. Today's exercise, we're looking at how to start building some protraction ability. So that's the ability for our shoulder blades to reach forward. So if I was trying to reach out towards you guys, or if I was trying to reach forward that way, then we're talking about learning how to do that. And for a lot of people, they've lost this ability to get that full extra little bit of range. And it's a key thing as far as shoulder rehab goes because it involves a really important muscle called the serratus anterior. So when we're talking about protraction, we're talking about our shoulder blade's ability to wrap around our rib cage and go forward. So if I were to go back this way, my shoulder blade is going backwards. That's a retraction. And then a protraction is the ability for this, and here, this shoulder blade, to wrap around. It's hugging around my rib cage. And it's a muscle that is kind of the foundation for our shoulder blade movement just because of its size. It's coming from that first rib all the way down to the 8th or 9th rib. Huge, huge muscle in here. And it gives us a lot of ability to press. Now, as far as shoulder blade stuff goes and like winging and all those kinds of things aren't necessarily always going to correlate with pain or cause pain. But what we do see is some shoulder blade abnormalities with most shoulder injuries. And that might just be a secondary effect because of pain in terms of inhibition. But when it comes down to the training side of things, we're not saying that you need to have perfect shoulder blade movement, whatever perfect means, to be a pain-free shoulder. But in terms of performance, if I'm wanting to reach, say a handstand, or I want to throw, or I want to be able to, reach into the back of the car for something and, really get into those ranges, then I need to have full shoulder blade movement. So this is where we're going to start building some of that. So the first thing we're going to do is come down onto our tummy and rest on our elbows. And I'll show you guys from the side and from the front. So you can see up in this area where the ball is, that space could get squished down if I retract my shoulder blades like this. And all I'm doing is kind of resting down onto my shoulders. Whereas if I push the ground away from me and try and get really tall, you can see it's got that wrapping effect. So my shoulder blade's starting to move down across this way. So by pushing myself away from the ground, I'm creating a bit of an isometric and I'm trying to resist myself falling down, okay? From the front, that's gonna look a bit more like this. But what we want is something small. You could use like the edge of a foam roller. You could use like a tissue box, a shoe. Just put it in here so that it hits your ribs. And maybe it's gonna hit your sternum a little bit higher up. The important thing is you've just got something there that you're gonna try and not fall down on. So find the spot that it hits you and then push away from it. And then try and keep that space in between the object and your chest. And that's gonna encourage that protraction. If that doesn't work for you, then you can always have a mirror and look from the side. And what you want to see from the side is this rounding of the upper back. If I'm going into an extension of my spine, that's coupled with retraction of my shoulder blades. Those things happen together. Can I protract and extend my spine? Yes, that might be a bench press technique, for example. But to get full range of protraction, I need to flex my spine. So I need that rounding. And that's where this object comes in. So if the object doesn't work for you, then have a look in a mirror on your side and make sure you've got that nice big rounding going on up here, okay? So a nice simple exercise to start, and I would just sit here and hold. Really push away, breathe, hang out for a minute or two, see how long you can go before you start to shake. And you might find that's a little bit harder than you think. Resist the temptation to pull the shoulders up to the ears. It's not that that's a bad thing, it's just not the goal of this exercise. Okay, so start there, and if that starts to feel easy, so easy as in less shaky or less effortful, then progress yourself into some of our other exercises. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here And to check out our latest video, click up here.